My name is Aria Nolan, and for most of my adult life, my older brother Dylan treated me like a failure. He was the golden child, suit, degree, corporate job, and endless arrogance. I, on the other hand, worked at a small cafe on the corner of Maple Street, serving lattes and wiping tables while he reminded me every family dinner that I'd wasted my potential. He loved to joke that I'd end up smelling like coffee beans forever. What he didn't know was that I wasn't just an employee there. I owned it. The cafe was the first store in what would soon become a chain of coffee shops called the Brew District, and back then, I kept my ownership a secret because I wanted to see who believed in me, not in my success. When I started, I poured everything I had into that one shop. My savings, my time, my heart. I learned how to roast beans, design interiors, and negotiate leases. There were nights when I slept in the back office on a couch that smelled like espresso and paint, wondering if I'd made a mistake. But slowly, the lines at the counter grew longer, and regulars became family. I opened a second branch, then a third, and within 5 years, we had 20. Investors started calling, and soon the brand became known for its cozy design, fair trade beans, and community vibe. Still, I kept my success private. I wanted to earn everything quietly while my brother laughed loudly. Every Christmas, Dylan would show up in his expensive car, talking about his big finance deals, while giving me that fake sympathetic smile. "Still pouring coffee, sis," he'd say. "You could always come work for me." I'd smile back and reply, "Thanks, but I like where I am." He never asked more, never cared to. To him, I was the little sister who didn't make it. Until one day, fate decided to write a new chapter. Our parents were celebrating their 40th anniversary, and Dylan insisted on hosting the dinner at a 5-star hotel downtown. When I arrived, the entire extended family was already there, and Dylan was in his element, holding court at the head of the table, telling stories about his latest merger. I took a seat quietly, and just as I was about to sip my water, I heard him say, "Aria, you're still doing that coffee thing, right? I saw one of your shops last week. Cute place. You should talk to me if you ever want to expand. You know, real business advice." The table laughed politely. I smiled, my hands steady, even as my heart raced with irony. "Actually, I've been thinking about expanding quite a bit lately," I said calmly. "We're considering international locations next year." He smirked. "We?" "Yes," I said. "The Brew District. I own it." The silence that followed was the sweetest sound I'd ever heard. For a moment, no one moved. Then Mom blinked. "Wait, you own the Brew District?" Dylan's laugh cracked. "That chain is worth $50 million, I finished. After the last funding round." You could almost hear his ego shatter. His smile collapsed, replaced by confusion and disbelief. "That's impossible. You were just making coffee." "That's how it started," I said softly. "Turns out, people like what I make." The rest of the dinner was a blur of shocked relatives asking questions, our parents beaming with pride, and Dylan sinking deeper into his chair. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. Success was speaking for me. After dinner, when most guests had left, Dylan found me outside near the valet. His voice was quieter than I'd ever heard it. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked. "Because you never listened," I replied. "You were too busy laughing." He looked away, guilt flickering across his face. "I didn't mean to belittle you." "Maybe not," I said. "But you did." He nodded slowly, then said, "You did great, Aria." "Really?" For once, it sounded genuine. I smiled faintly. "Thanks, Dylan. Next time you want coffee, it's on the house, but only if you wait in line like everyone else." He laughed softly, realizing that was the only apology I needed. A few weeks later, a business magazine published an article titled, "The Woman Who Built a $50 million Empire from One Coffee Shop." Dylan sent me a message that simply read, "Proud of you." I didn't reply right away. I just looked out the window of my office, watching customers line up outside one of my newest stores. The smell of roasted beans filled the air, reminding me of where it all began. Sometimes, revenge doesn't come through anger or payback. It arrives quietly, wrapped in success, delivered with a smile to the very people who doubted you. My brother once laughed at my coffee shop job. Now, every morning, when he orders his favorite latte, he's reminded that it's my name printed on the cup. And that, to me, is the most satisfying sip of all.